It's Modular. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. It is Friday, September 19th. This is episode 47. And boy, do we have a special one for you. First things first, happy Human Dream 2 Day. Today is the official release of the second EP, Human Dream Project. We're going to be focused on that quite a bit here today. And with the help of an artist spotlight, the 10th installment as well. But before we get into that, let's introduce my co-host, Mr. Scotty Fuller. How are you feeling today?
Woo! Oh boy, I am feeling real good, buddy. Dare I say I've never been more excited about anything short of like the two things that come to mind are the birth of my child and my wedding.
This is all I got, man. So
you ain't got either one of those, so this is it for you. Let's
married
go.
to the game, bro. Married to the game. All right, so I mean, let's get right into it with the Human Dream 2. Obviously, a very exciting day. The Human Dream 2 has been live on Bandcamp for Bandcamp subscribers for a couple days now, but today marks the official release on all streaming platforms: Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music. So really exciting there. And we start off with, is this the scariest STS9 song to ever be recorded in the studio with Dusk? Good God, Scotty.
I mean, dude, what were they thinking with this one? I mean, we're gonna find out here in a few minutes, but in the few minutes that we have before we get into it, man, we so affectionately and lovingly call this one "Scare Your Grandma" music on this podcast, and they're not doing anything to shy away from that label.
No.
There is a clarity to this in the studio that somehow makes it scarier. I mean, you said it, like there's no way around it. This is on its own, and especially in a in a studio setting. Like, we have a few songs like this in the catalog. None of them are on an album though. Like, we've got Twilight, like that, there's things that kind of exist in the same realm as this, but for them to take the time to do this in the studio is really cool. And I said in a group chat that both of us are in earlier, I think it's one of my favorite studio offerings, I think, right off the bat.
Yeah, I mean, right off the bat, we hear a Hunter Brown guitar tone, which wasn't in that clip to start, but like that first kind of melody line he plays, it's like almost Jerry Garcia-esque, like with like the heavy like what effects, right. Like it's just playing around with different stuff, and even in these songs that are being released in the EP that we've been seeing in the live catalog for a number of years, adding freshness to it, right? Adding more modular depth to it with Phipps. Just keying in on the glockenspiel, I think that is from Jeffrey on that. Like you said, it's coming through clear, and it makes it that much scary. And we're on the heels of the scary seasons, baby. Halloween is coming up, and we all know that's one of the best STS9 holidays. So I mean, this one's really diving into jack-o'-lantern shit. So
the word that I wanted to use with Dusk was hollow, but I hesitated because I feel like that could be conceived as a negative word, but not in the way that I'm saying it. I mean, like hollow when you shout into a graveyard and the echoes that come off of the gravestones type stuff,
like headless horseman, Sleepy Hollow.
Right,
shit.
right. Like I'm at a loss for a better description of it right now, but it's just the openness that the studio allows. I don't know, that there's just something about this version of it that I really appreciate, and we have such a embarrassment of riches when it comes to live recordings. I barely go back to studio anything, and I feel like Studio Dusk will make it on some playlists. I like.
Oh yeah, for sure. The trick-or-treating playlist, definitely. Just
yeah,
a few
for
weeks.
Sure.
Yeah, hopefully kids will still come get candy from my house.
I was just having that thought.
but it kind of has the Halloween movie theme s to it a
Mhm.
little bit on that. But like, I mean, this is so much more than we're kind of pigeonholing it here. Like this is a shoulder shaker, baby. This is a toe
Sure.
tapper. It's one that gets you moving for sure. And it seems like they've really settled into a pocket. I noticed a change with it. I can't really put my finger on what it was from the Dylan version, and I know that was on the cutting room floor as far as our clips were going from last week. But glad that we got to revisit it this week. It's almost the universe speaking in that sense. But yeah, like I said in the intro, guys, we have what is the most exciting installment of the Artist Spotlight series here, the 10th installment. So, without further ado, let's throw it to the interview.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time. Whether you are joining this podcast for the first time or if you've been kind enough to join us for all 297,481 seconds of this journey, and you bet your ass I counted because every single one has led us to this moment right here. In those seconds, you have heard from collaborators like Audio Angel and Maureen Murphy, Taylor Houston Morgan, Tiberius George Benson, Brad Bowden, and Matty O'Neill, and numerous other fans and creators. But today, we are going straight to the source. Not only the source of Nate and I's friendship, but the source of a passionate and diverse community of people built on the principles of symbiotic connection and love. Love, 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 love. These five musicians have collectively soundtracked over 227 collective shows between me and Nate's life, but that is just a fraction of the over 1,300 shows they have played together in their 28-year career. Today, they are here for the first time, but certainly and hopefully not the last, to talk about all things Human Dream. Please welcome Alana Rockland, Jeffrey Lerner, Hunter Brown, Zach Velmer, and David Phipps, Sound Tribe Sector 9. Welcome, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you
What's
so
up?
much. Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
So, thank you. What an intro, Scotty. Excellent.
Yeah.
Well done.
I hadn't heard that yet. You got me tearing up over here. Goosebumps. First of all, I mean, we're only a couple weeks removed from that absolute scorcher of a 3-night run in Colorado. Vibes have got to be high. How'd the energy feel coming off those shows? Did it look as fun as it sounded? And was it as fun as it looked and sounded?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely. It was a little hot in the Boulder Theater.
Yeah.
The weather was pretty warm in there, but you know that kind of lends itself to just a scorcher. You know, like you guys, I'll quote you. Just it was pretty special. The energy, the vibe, the community was on a level, to say the least. Yeah.
Completely agree with that. So, let's get right into the topic of discussion, guys. Happy Human Dream 2 release day, first of all.
Yes.
Yes.
We are recording this the night before, but everyone else is going to be hearing it, right alongside probably as soon as they finish it. Hopefully they're checking this out. Let's get right into it. So, Hunter, you mentioned a while ago in an interview that you guys have more unreleased music than you know what to do with. You've got the studio that you have, by your own words, kind of opened the floodgates to us to this year, and this is very much that. So it feels like you guys are usually in the mode of at least casually creating. How do you know when you left casual creation mode and entered album mode?
That's a good question. I think we're always in hardcore creative mode, and I think it's always there's just always that's the spirit of what we do. That's what's always going on. That's what we're always talking about. And eventually it's like, oh, you know what, we might have an album here, or there's an idea that comes along that we want to express that kind of comes in conjunction with a group of songs, like with Human Dream. And so I think it's just right now, at least, that's a new question right now that's kind of left to be discovered, I think, because we do have so much material. It's now we're kind of figuring out what do we want to do? How do we want to do it? And we really haven't been in that place before, to be honest. At least in this place where we are now, with the kind of material that we've got. We've got a bunch of new songs. We've got a ton of old songs, fan favorites that we've never recorded before. So we're feeling pretty good and really excited just to get into it all and start, and really open up those floodgates.
Fan favorites that you've never recorded before, as in you are currently recording them.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Little sneak peek there.
Little
Absolutely.
Okay.
We are all together, and
Yeah.
you know, when we
Yeah.
are all together, that's what we spend our time doing. So
Hell yeah.
Well, I want to say something about like the casual going in, because like especially with the Human Dream, like on that particular subject, it's like there was this kind of thing that was a really cool moment in for all five of us, that like going into this, writing together, playing some of the music out and getting that energy, and then right from there, from the writing process, and then actually coming back from maybe playing a show when we debuted a song and getting the response from the energy. If we had 6 songs, now we have 7. And if we had 7 songs,
and then 9.
and then we had 9, you know? So
Yeah.
there was this kind of like, oh, we're gonna try this out and maybe it'll connect, and maybe not that it won't, it'll be a song, but like, wow. Not from, I don't know if it's as black and white as casual to the now it's on the album, but like there was a definite response energetically from fans with us playing it and being like, I mean, just speaking specifically for a couple, I'm gonna say one song, Glass was one of those songs. Dusk was one of those songs. You know, so it was like, I mean, it was, I remember looking at the Eastern in Atlanta and looking at you guys going nuts.
It was us. Yeah, it was us.
Absolutely. So 100%. And it was like, we all were like, well, all right, 10, 11. So,
We've got a hit. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that was honestly the next question we had. You know, Zach, you've talked about in other interviews about the collaborative process between the band and fans. You talk about it before encores, the symbiotic thing that we have going on. And those moments seem to really happen in the studio and on stage. It really crystallized the direction of the Human Dream. As far as inspiration goes, right? Because that's what starts before anything, you know, gets played, or, you know, whether it be in the studio or live on stage. You mentioned a lot of artists, Zach. You talked about LTJ Bookham, MC Conrad, Roni Size, Clifford Gilberto, and then Alana. You tipped your hat to James Jamerson. Jeffrey, you've talked about Marvin Gaye. Hunter, you've talked about bebop and jazz influence on Portal to the Starry Path. Who else is inspiring you guys right now? And are there any other artists who inspired the Human Dream that you'd like the fan base to know about?
Well, this might be silly, but it's absolutely sincere. Hunter Brown, David Phipps, Alana Rockland, Zach Velmer, on the reel. And I think the dedication and the intention that everyone brings to their craft and what we're able to achieve together, and then exponentially blossoms when you add a fan and a show and the experience, and that's what honestly is inspiring me right now.
I love that answer. And anyone else?
yeah,
got
I mean,
one?
I think it's you know, you can't with writing and inspiration. I think it's one of those things that you can't have inspiration without experience to a level, you know? And like, I think that like what we experience individually and what we experience together, and then be able to kind of like, you know, juice that up with all together with our music. I think that's the pinnacle, you know? Sure, you know, I mean, we could talk about different artists, we could talk about nature, we could talk about that, but all of that is just life experience, right?
Yeah.
Experience then kind of goes into the inspiration of how, I mean, we are all creatives, and that's what it just feels like we're all here to kind of do. And it's, And I love Jeffrey's answer. I mean, we are all
Yeah.
inspired by each other of how we show up, and I think that through the experience and kind of going, we leave it very STS9, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
There's such a clear identity in it. And you know, you guys as a five piece have now been playing together for over 10 years, and that comfort level, it just seems to come through even stronger and stronger with every note you play. And now we get a chance to start to put the current iteration of STS9 on wax. And yeah, it's Music Us, it's Inspire Strikes Back. And it is certainly felt and heard again ever since those first moments where we hear Glass for the first time and it's like, holy crap, that did not sound like a new song, right?
Yeah. So go ahead.
Oh no, I was just agreeing.
Yeah.
I would
this-
just add to that, like, just the capturing that and just what you said of like having this new experience be on vinyl is really one of the most exciting things about this Human Dream project. You know, our first like real creation as that unit, and being able to represent our growth and represent our journey, you know, where we've come to in the last 10 years. So
Absolutely.
that's a big F yeah.
yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, yeah, I mean, this iteration has just been, I mean, it's all process, right? It's all process. So, you know, I know Hunter can really speak to this, but like, especially, you know, these groups of songs it was really like a representation of how we sound,
Mhm.
how we sound live, how we sound in the studio. It's like there's no real tricks. It's like if you're gonna hear us from the record and then you hear it live, it's that's what we're creating. It's not, and that's what we're trying, you know, not even trying, but that's the intention. That's how it's coming across, and it feels very authentic to us. It feels very us.
Yeah.
We've talked a lot about that, and even like the little studio talks that we've done, and like, you know, we keep pulling on different threads, you know. We keep, you know, Hunter the mastermind, where it's like he hears this thing loop and it's like in a song, but then now we have 3 more songs from that, and it's like, oh, we're all like chomping it, like, oh my god, that's so cool, and we're inspired by that, and what's next, and how it all kind of connects if we change the tempo. It's crazy. It's unbelievably fun to say it.
Yeah.
And it's apparent. I mean, I think it's really cool what you're saying about, you know, you know, the one that is the classic example so far is It's All Right, or finding the Life's a Symphony and Unity, It's All Right, out of It's All Right.
Then out of Like I Do first, honestly. Yeah.
But it's like this isn't something new. Throughout your career, you guys have pulled certain parts of certain songs over the years and adapted them, but it's like it's happening in hyperdrive recently.
Yeah.
And
It's lossless. Like that's what it feels like. Yeah.
So on one more inspiration question while we're here. It's no secret that another kind of facet that you guys pull a lot of inspiration from is books. We know about Peace Blaster. When we had Maureen on, she mentioned, Hunter, that you were reading a civil rights book at the time that was kind of inspiring some of the creation there. You mentioned The Power of Limitations in another interview. Are there any other books that were kind of inspiring the general direction of this project?
Oh man, that's a great question. You know, all of these projects, when we kind of immerse ourselves in these topics for years at a time, really, months and years at a time. And so there's a lot that comes through in that time period that goes into the album, that goes into the theme and the ideas that we're putting out there. It's hard to really pick, you know, like one or two. I mean, it really is. But, you know, I would say there's Kenneth Clark is someone that I've just read a bunch of his books over the past few years. He's someone that I've like gone back to over and over again. He's an art historian from the early 20th century. And he's just kind of an outsized role in how we experience art today. and sharing how through art, through visual arts, how we've gotten to this point today, in culture and civilization. And I think there's so many things that came out of him, different threads that we would pull out, things that he was talking about, books that he'd written, and so that's one that just immediately comes to mind for sure.
Sure.
There's plenty. We could have another podcast just on that.
Hey, we'll save it for your solo episode.
Okay, deal.
This is long form discussion, and you guys are telling a story, so for sure.
Cool.
Let's talk about this rollout. It's extremely unique, right? And it's really fun to follow along with, whether you're a diehard fan like me or Scotty, or a casual fan, or a new fan that's just getting into it, where this is the first rollout that you're experiencing as an STS9 fan, right? But this rollout, nearly a year long with videos to go along with things, studio interviews, 5 singles and 2 EPs already. What really went into that behind the scenes with The Human Dream?
We had too many songs.
Yeah, so we kept writing more songs, and then as described, like, we would come back and be like, okay, we have to record that song, and that happened, many times, to the point where we just struggled actually a little bit. How do we share all of this music at once, and what's going to be, so that it doesn't get lost, frankly, because if you release 19 tracks, which is what Human Dream will be, 19 songs.
Okay.
We just felt like we have to split it up somehow, but it was one theme and one thought and one energy of the music that we couldn't split it up, right? And all of us are so old school on the, like, we love records, and
Albums.
And by no means is this, like we even said, like, this isn't a thematic, concept album at all, like, but there is something that was a thread, again, that was going through, and it's just like we kept going. 19 songs, okay. What's gone into it is a lot of just, I think, us just trying to enjoy this process of sharing all of this stuff with you guys, and, like, how do we do it in a way that's getting the creative side across. We've just been experimenting a lot, like, all of the different videos and things are kind of us just doing it ourselves and experimenting and having fun with it. Definitely really wanting to tell the story of what we're doing. I mean, that's been always something that has been important. How do we tell that story? What's the best way to communicate it? And so, yeah, it's just been super fun. We've just had a great time kind of getting into each song and really dissecting them, even after the fact, has been fun for us too. So yeah, that's pretty much what we've been doing just the whole year. It's just like kind of getting together, recording more, writing more, it's all ongoing. So everything's like, it really, when the floodgates is no joke, man. This is like, the list is long. So yeah, we're getting to it.
So would you call all parts of this rollout equal parts fun? Because I mean, you talked about the Instagram kind of mini interviews that you guys have been doing. I mean, we've heard from you guys on a like an interview level, on a talking level online, more than we ever have before this year. Is that fun, or does that feel more like the work of this whole thing?
It's probably a little of both, but I think
Okay.
I think that we're open to challenge ourselves to, like, do things that maybe are a little uncomfortable or whatever, because it is that important that we want to share what we are sharing, right? And so I think it's both.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say it. I mean, it's, we're in a new time. You know what I mean? It's so, we've seen so many different changes, technology, from you have a CD to going to streaming to all of this stuff. So, us kind of pivoting and adapting. I don't think it was like just completely natural for us. but you know, we kind of, you know, there's this thing that we what an opportunity that we get to share, you know, that we have the opportunity. You know, I've said this many times. It's still amazing to me that that one person cares enough in this world, in this third dimensional reality that we live in today, in the amount of saturation and what's out there and noise, that people connect to what we're doing, and how blessed and grateful we are that we still get to create music, and we will create, no matter if there was one person to 1,000 people to 10,000, you know. So it feels like this opportunity that it's not like we have to, but we get to.
Hey,
And it feels we feel really grateful and blessed that you guys are doing this, and the people are coming to the shows and all that. So you know, I don't know, I think that I do know that it feels it is pushing us though creatively
sure.
outside of realms that, you know, we haven't necessarily, I don't want to say feel comfortable or not comfortable. It's just, you know, probably you guys starting a podcast. It was like, I remember talking to Nate, just being like, I think we're going to do this, or it's outside of yourself. So you grow within that. So I don't know. It feels good. And once, like anything, you get comfortable, it becomes more comfortable, and we do laugh and we do have fun doing it, you know, and we have had a lot of fun doing it, you know? So,
Sure.
yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. There's a lot of laughter. Like I mean, you know, we are laughing a lot. Once we get going, we're just being silly and fun and doing our thing, and just kind of, you know, also just we enjoy being around each other. So that's not, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like, okay, you're just hanging out with your friends and getting to create things about your music
Yeah.
that you made. We're just like, whoa, like, okay. If we just look at it like that, it totally changes the perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would agree. Yeah, I agree completely, and with both of what you both said. On the, you know, I think personally speaking, there's a part of it too. It's like you know, music is so powerful partly because it's music, and you're not talking about it, you know, and that's partly why I feel so comfortable making music. That's where I can, you know, express myself the best, the most openly, the most freely. And having to talk about it sometimes is just, it's really new. It's something that I just, you know, you know, it's definitely different, and it's a blessing. But at the same time, it's having to, you know, kind of face the fact that, yeah, I mean, part of this is a struggle personally, because, you know, music is this kind of comfort zone where it is this complete freedom to express and really say things that are hard to say otherwise. And two, I think music is most powerful when it's experienced. You know, I think I sometimes worry about, you know, not worry, but I think it's like, I just know that music is most powerful when it's experienced. You really can't explain anything to somebody. You really got to let them experience to feel that magic, to really believe it, and to say, I know it, you know. It's nothing I'm going to sit here and tell you that's going to get you to, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
to understand that. But I hope this helps you, you know, get to the headphones and to the, you know, to check us out kind of thing. So it's amazing, and it's a blessing, and it's also led us to like really create new things. And I think that's another big part of it too. It's like really wanting to just leave everything on the field artistically this year in preparation in the rollout for this album. You know, pushing every creative button in our spirits
Yeah.
to really try to do everything we can to express what we're trying to, you know, to give to the world right now, share with the world right now. And so that has been fulfilling and devouring at the same time, you know. So it is just it's an incredible blessing, and couldn't be more thankful, and you know, and y'all are just a perfect representation of that, you know, talking to you know, to our biggest, you know, to people that we know so well, that we see at all the shows, and we've, you know, kind of had these experiences together with, so we feel comfortable talking to y'all about them. But it's interesting. It's been an interesting rollout because of all the things that we've done that have been kind of brand new.
Sure.
Yeah.
But it's been great.
Hunter, I just want to take a second. The way that you just described music is the way that I describe y'all to people. I mean, there's somebody that's going to listen to this tomorrow and go, that's the way you described them to me before you brought me to my first show.
Nice.
Yeah.
We
do our best. Yeah.
I have this thing where if somebody is curious about STS9, the first ticket's on me, because I can't explain this to you. You heard me intro it, almost 300,000 seconds of talking about y'all. I can't do it. Like, I have to put someone in front of you for them to be like, okay, I get this now. You know, you just got to feel it.
Yeah, Zach, you talked about the third dimensional world. I thought if we learned anything in the Tabby in 2015, it's that there's 4 dimensions, right? So Hunter, I
That's
feel
music.
like
Yeah, but when we're talking like this, we're in the 3rd dimension, bro.
That's fair. We'll stay in our lane for sure. You guys, and you've already kind of hit on it. What has the human dream added to the creative team dynamic of STS9?
All hands on deck.
All hands on deck.
Yeah, well
All
said.
hands on deck.
There you go.
Yeah, well said. It is. It's full on. It's full on. We can't speak highly enough of actually who's behind the scenes helping share our creative vision with us. You know what I mean? It's top notch.
Mm-hmm.
Completely top notch.
Yeah, we've had to reach out and make some new relationships to help us kind of, to make sure that we had some extra reach. And it's just been incredible. It really has. We've got an incredible team. And it's exciting. It really is.
On that team, you guys have added a good friend of ours, somebody I've known for a very long time, and somebody that's been a guest on this podcast before, Taylor Houston Morgan. Talk my boy up for a second. Tell us what adding him to the team has done to y'all's creative process in general.
That's easy. Who wants to go first?
I mean, Hunter, you should go. I'll follow you up.
Oh man, it's just he's like a 6th member. He's like a 6th member of the band. In a just a real way, just in the terms of someone that we can talk to outside of the bubble that we've created for each other. That we trust. And that we can just kind of dream this in with, that someone can go out as kind of a scout and then bring back, and then we can like really flesh things out with. And then me and him will have just hours long conversations about just the minutia of certain things, just real nerdy art stuff. That's just incredible to be able to do that with someone who's just so good at what they do, and just so just hungry like we are to create, and just so right there, wanting to just do the best and constantly pushing themselves to find that next step in their creative journey. And he's definitely helped us find ours. And so we get into all kind of details about that. But it's been incredible to kind of have a new team member brother to help us share our vision. And that's who Taylor is.
Absolutely.
So thank you, Taylor.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I can show you my text messages where it's like, hey, can you talk for a sec? And then that sec, we call each other, and then it's like literally an hour and 15 minutes later. And it's like, we always do this because it's just like where the conversation leads is beyond. And how he has like really, I don't know, man, how he's kind of stepped his game up as well, but like how he sees and can kind of like automatically read between the lines. He's kind of also like one step ahead. And it's just such a pleasure to kind of align with that, because in how we, all of the assets that have to happen, not only for an album, but also just for a show or merchandise or ad mat, all of those pieces, there's so much minutia. And to just give him one more shout out of just like how he the
It might be him.
Yeah, right. It might be him. The cohesiveness of how he helps facilitate that is just, it's really, really amazing.
We care a lot about our
Yeah.
how we present ourselves with the art and the music and
Mhm.
the assets, the branding, the logos, all of that. And he helps us more than anyone and keep that consistency where everything you see from us has this certain kind of touch to it that you know it
Yep.
came from, you know that it had our, that we're on the details, that we care at that level because we do. And so he's really not only helping us do that, but pushing us to do that. And it's just an absolutely just it's we're a team. We're a true team, helping each other. He's bringing stuff to us. We're bringing stuff to him. We're collaborating. He's creating. We're creating, and it's just this is what it's all about. Really, it's a huge part of why we love doing what we do. Is that part of it? Is sharing the kind of propaganda of it all. Being able to put all these things that we care about into every little bit of everything that we do. Whether it's a video that's going out, it's got a little tag at the end of it, or an asset that goes out that's a show poster or whatever. It's got some, the story is there. There's
Yep.
threads to pull. There's things that people like you guys are going to recognize. Maybe new fans won't, but they'll start to, and they'll start to see that it's our world, and he's helping shape that world. And he's making sure that it is coming across the way we all expect it to and want it to. And that's a huge thing because it's really hard to do across a team that's maybe 15, 20 people.
Mhm.
And so to have someone like that that's making sure that everything is on that level, that's really important to us. It really is.
We've
So,
had trouble in the past.
we really have people
know,
just take that over without
Just take it over. They're going to use a different logo. They're going to not use the right typography or the right font. Or I mean, it's like,
Interesting.
and the amount of energy and time that it takes to like, it's you don't even know. So like, it has. We're on a level. It feels like we're on a level right now.
It looks like it.
And
Yeah.
he's elevating those things.
Absolutely.
Like we've kind of brought a certain, what would you call it, Philip? Like brand
Identity.
identity that you know what I mean. He's not only keeping that going, but elevating it at every turn. And so, yeah.
Well, those are awesome words, and it comes through visually and sonically for sure with this project. But let's
Awesome.
get back to sonically. You talk about all hands on deck, and Brad a few weeks ago talked to us about giving you guys the fishing pole, right? So Phipps, for you specifically, Brad pinpointed like you guys really honing in on the modular side of things, right? And we started to see that infused in the late 2010s a lot with their music, but it's almost kind of like getting itself to a point where it's fully ingrained in your guys' music. Technically, what has changed for you guys between this release and your last release with the Universe Inside that has helped you create something like this?
Wow.
Mhm.
The modular's been around for a good minute.
Mhm.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
The first we met John Hughes in Chicago, and were kind of introduced into a Euro-rack modular system, all in early days of this of modular synthesizers, where there's a handful of manufacturers, almost on one or two hands, um, and so we've always had, inspired by that, we've always had a modular of some sort in the studio. Um, how we've kind of honed honed our use of it, and how we can deploy it on stage, kind of with some reliability, but also wide open creative palette at the same time, has been a long journey. Has pretty much taken the full 15 years of fucking with modulars to figure out exactly how we want to do it, and love to do it on stage, is with the most options, and but tightness as well. Um, it's one of those things that I mean, I just have like tons and tons of modules and synthesizers, and have a rig at home and a rig here, and the one that's
goes on the road. And each collection kind of teaches its own thing about what's, I don't know, what's cool.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
pretty much modular.
yeah. I mean, it's
Modular is
you
cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
you've had it you've had it for so long, right? But
Yeah.
Zach said it a few minutes ago. I mean, this album is what you guys sound like now, and
Yeah.
whether it's Dusk or Shaky Ground or what have you, there's so much more. So many more moments on what we've heard from these first two EPs where the modular is kind of front and center at points, and in a much
sure.
more established way than
organic way. Yeah.
Right, than in past works, at all. So I think that work that you guys have been putting in is more obvious than ever on these two projects that you guys are here to talk
Awesome.
about right now.
We appreciate that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such a high fidelity sound. It's like hi-fi but analog and chaotic at the same time. On stage and on the recordings, it's on its own channels. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
separate from the synthesizers or the pianos. The sounds coming from my riser. The modular is its own thing, and it's treated that way and mixed that way. Yeah, it's probably
It's cool.
But I think the integration, I just want to say, if I could speak to it, like I think the integration it really has been integrated more than, dare I say, an afterthought. Do you know what I mean? To where
Yeah.
it's more integrated into the initial thing rather than, okay, cool, here's the song. Now we're going to go and just to a 4-minute modular after the song.
Yeah.
It's
sure.
not, like,
100%.
we're still doing that, but it feels more integrated to the whole sound to where it doesn't feel like and
It's not start
it's-
stop anymore.
yeah,
it's
it's
just
all
like
together as one sound. We're moving together as one sound, and I mean, all of us literally, have really helped with that, especially just with like prepping for a show. You know what I mean? Just honestly, in some of those realms. So it's really, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so let's talk about some of those songs that are out. None of these are songs that we haven't heard before in a live setting, but we've got a few that you guys dropped as singles, and then a few kind of surprises, so to speak, on this album of stuff that we didn't know was getting the studio treatment or not. Starting with "It's All Right."
No? Hold on.
Wait, am I
Starting with Like I Do.
Starting with Like I Do. My bad. This one is unique to everything else you guys have done so far because it stems from Rave Spell back in 2019. Was this one of the ones that stuck out to you guys after that night, or did you feel like it immediately had potential to have an important spot like this in the catalog?
Like I Do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was immediately interesting in a couple of different ways. Just rhythmically, it's really unique and different and kind of difficult, honestly.
Very.
Yeah.
For us, it kind of got, you know what I mean? And that wasn't really, it took us a little bit to kind of recognize that, I think. But it was just something really different and new and interesting. I think we really wanted to push that and see where it would take us. We're trying several kind of new things on that, a new time signature, and so it just felt fun and kind of like a new, something new and interesting. So we definitely wanted to keep pursuing that, get it to a place where it felt like a finished record. So I think that was one of the, that was a part of the first group where we knew this was going to be an album. This was going to be a collection of music that was going somewhere. This was starting to hit on like what STS9 was now becoming with Alana fully integrated into the band. I think that's ultimately that's a musically speaking, that is part of what Human Dream is. It is a kind of a representation of where we are right now, like you said, like we've been talking about. It is that was really important to us, really get that on, because we never really looked at an album like that before. In the past, most albums that we've made, we've looked at the studio as kind of its own creative experience, and we still do. I mean, that's still a part of making any work in the studio. But with this, the spirit of this wanted to remain live. It wanted to remain like we want to be able to recognize this and be able to play. It just I don't know. It just we want it to be a snapshot of what we actually sound like right now. And so,
Yeah. Well, it stems from a night of improv, so that's about as live as it gets, right?
yeah, it does. Yeah, for sure.
Well, I mean, I just remember. I'm just gonna say Artifact. I remember like we did Artifact, and then we had to learn how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, like
Exactly.
how to do it. It was like,
Yeah.
like we did.
How do we play these
We
songs
really
live,
didn't
right?
Until
Yeah.
10 years later.
Yeah.
Like, 15 years later. Yeah. It
Yeah.
takes about that long to-
That was intentional too, because we
Absolutely.
wanted to make an album that wasn't playing live, because
Yeah.
that's all we did.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
I love this track. You talk about the challenging parts of it. It's almost 2 songs in one, right?
It
With
is.
that
Yeah.
rhythm break that happens, and with this studio version, like it's almost like you hear it and like it's like, oh, okay, like it sounds like every time you guys change it up, like they've got it, right? Like,
totally.
not that you didn't have it before, but it's like, wow, they've done it again, right? And the playfulness of this song already, I mean, it's had huge moments. I think back to the 2022 Eastern version, 14 plus minutes, absolute dance party. That was a hell of a night. And then just recently in Dylan, you get that mashup with Shock Doctrine. Man,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's cool.
you talk about mixing the old with the new, and that's so playful. And a lot of the stuff that us as fans, that's why you go to the 100+ shows, right, to see stuff like that.
Well, and you've also got
but-
to do that because you got to see that version actually played correctly.
Yeah.
We had a major technical difficulty, doing it like I do with the Shock Doctrine at Dylan. And so we can't. I still hurt from that. I'm still like in pain. I'm still
Listen,
bothers me. I'm still.
for what it's
I-
worth, I
So-
can't stop rincing it. Like
well,
I'm
that's
just
good to
listening
hear.
to it.
We're
Yeah.
gonna have a better version sooner than later. So.
Well, that's
Remix.
that's funny too, because I was staying right there in those condos, and y'all must have worked on that for 30 minutes during sound check, just
Yeah.
over and over and over. I was like,
Totally.
that one's gonna be special when they get it off the
What's
mic.
happening with this one? Yeah.
It was.
Let's do one last thing with Like I Do. A lot of people might not know this. Like, it's stemming from Find Another Woman by Raina, right? But it keeps that like old school rave mentality in mind, but like elevates it to 2025 STS9. Like, where does that come from? What comes first, chicken and egg scenario? Like, was it those, that vocal hook that kind of inspired it, or was it like kind of being like, oh, this fits pretty well with that?
It was the chords. The chords came first, and then the ARP. Actually, no, it was the ARP, the melody, basically the da 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 da. That came first, then the chords, and then the beat, and then so it was the music that came first. We really had the music first, and then it was just like this wants a hook. You know what I mean? This is why I got to hear. I was looking for actually like a like an MC. I tried a bunch of different things like that. That's what I thought originally. That that's what we were going for. And then we've got so many acapellas and just kind of running. And the truth is, just kind of running through a bunch of different stuff, and then you stumble on something like, whoa, wait, what is this? This is kind of, and it honestly it kind of it's. I mean, I'm like testing stuff, and it's like it's not exactly on time. It's just you can get a sense of like how things are kind of working without it being perfect. This was perfect. It was just like for a minute, it just like played out. Just sitting there like, what is going on here? And it just, you follow those things when those kind of things happen. You just kind of you give thanks and you don't ask questions and you move on.
All right, next track.
Amen.
Yeah.
Next question. Magic.
All right.
You call that magic.
That's right.
That's right, Scotty. Now let's talk about It's All Right, right?
Yeah. This song gives Empire vibes with the vocal sample distortion. Do you guys ever throw in like intentional callbacks to previous stuff?
Well, yes, especially live, obviously.
Sure.
And then there's things that just naturally come out. We'll be recording something new, and one of us, like Phipps, will play something. It's like, wait, that's this song. Like, wait,
Yeah.
I'm playing this improv, this part of this song. And so something will be inspired by something old, or or there will be actual kind of remnants that will show back up in a new piece. We're not afraid to do that either. And so, yeah.
Yeah. We've heard that with the chords. I think we heard like the progression of the unquestionable supremacy of nature chords into like Get Loud, right? Like it's like really cool to experience that. But like with these vocals, like, yeah, just like that super kind of like eerie, echoey, like Empire's intro that you're hearing. Let's talk about those samples. What are the origins of the samples, and what exactly are we hearing there?
Um, well, the origin of the sample is a pretty kind of obscure dance record. And so that's got, I can't remember exactly what it is right now, but it's got just a bunch of acapellas like that. And so that was the, that was the sample, more or less. It was just like finding something that you really resonate with in the moment because something is going on in the world that feels like this addresses something that feels, pertinent right now. And that did somehow. And so I think, it was just having a message like that has a little bit of attitude. The guy just says it with this kind of attitude. I don't know what it is. I kind of like that. And, it's just,
You don't really know what they're saying either.
Yeah, it's just got this vibe. Yeah. It's just got this kind of vibe. Well, it's just he's welcoming everybody and anybody into the house, it's just like, no matter who you are or where you come from, you are welcome here. That's ultimately what he's saying, and that is, and and it's about the music. It's about welcoming each other and embracing each other through the music and letting the music being that that place where we can meet in those ways. So it's all right. That's part of what that is. It's like there's a life is built in this way that is symphonic. And it is all. Not only is it all right, it's good and it's great, it's beautiful and it's a blessing and it's there's no words for it. And
It's a symphony, as people would say.
Symphony, yeah, exactly. And that's it. It's like this at the core of life. It is unfathomably beautiful, and wanting to kind of tap into that, to use it as a way to say, we're all welcome here in this beautiful place. Yeah, but it's like reminding me something too. Actually, we were playing today recently. I forget what it was. We played it a couple times recently.
Yeah, you were. Yeah.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
The Boulder Theater.
The Boulder Theater.
Yeah.
Playing the shit out of it. Yeah.
I heard this guy really loved that song. I heard this guy
Was
like
that for me?
What?
Was
Some
that
guy.
for me?
I don't know.
That was for me.
Well, you're
Don't
the
make
one
this
that was
about you.
asking for it.
Yeah,
But I wasn't sure if that was actually mine.
That's actually for you.
Thank you.
No doubt.
Thank you. Wow.
But
What
that
a
was
treat.
So that was the first time I actually realized that that one of the parts in Today is basically one of the parts in Get Loud, and just I didn't realize it until the Boulder Theater,
On stage.
3 weeks ago. I literally playing like, wait a second, this is almost exactly that part. So things like sneak back up into music, and you can't get away from certain things, and it's just who you are, and it's just okay to kind of express those in different contexts,
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's like, that's so true. It's, that's Miles Davis right there, man. That's what he did. You can listen to Miles Davis from the 50s and then Miles Davis in the 80s, and he's playing the same lines. It's just,
Yeah, you guys are like creating standards.
It's
like,
a language. Yeah. Well, it's like a language, It's just and so we have this sort of language between us that's, it keeps going and going and going, but it's always kind of there in the everything we do. It's that through line, right? Fun story about It's All Right. I wanted to just share with you because I feel like you'll appreciate it. So I went out of town, like, I don't know, like I had to go be with my family for some family thing for a couple weeks. And in between, we did Bonnaroo, and then I was in Nashville, right, with my family. These guys went back to Santa Cruz. I get a call like, yeah, we're going to play Electric Forest. We have a new song. We want to do it at Electric Forest. I'm like, I don't have a bass at home. I don't have, what do you mean? You want me to like play? I'm like, well, Hunter, can you send it to me?
Yeah, you leave these guys alone for 1 week and they play.
They're like, okay, we're playing Electric Forest. We're just going to walk out and play a new song, Electric Forest. Okay. Not just a new song, but one I had never heard prior to that. And so I'm like at my mom's, well, my my dad has like a keyboard, so I'm like on the keyboard, like okay, I
I did
can.
not know this.
I'm like, oh, here's a part. Okay.
feel bad now.
No, I'm like, here's a part. I'm like, I got this. It's cool. And we show up and just like rock that song.
Oh yeah.
I mean, not only the first time we played it, but literally the first time we played it together.
It's
Literally,
yeah. It's
So
dance floor napalm, I like to call it for sure. Right off the bat.
I think and it went right into Inspire, didn't it? I think it went right into Inspire.
It might have.
Yeah, I think we even.
Yeah, I'm the statistician. I can check on that as Scotty asked our next question.
So just don't really have a Portal question, just got a selfish ask. Can we make this like a 15-minute ordeal? I mean, good.
Portal?
Yeah, Portal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's do it.
I just want to. I want to live in that song. That and Symphony so far are the two ones for me. That is Symphony in particular. I just cannot believe how well that song and how quickly that song feels like you guys have been playing it for 8 to 10 years. It's huge. It steals sets. And it's, one of the newer ones, right? When was that recorded in the scheme of human?
January.
Yeah, January.
Yeah.
Wow. And yeah, let's get that upright involved in it, right? That shit sounds so smooth on the recording. Is that the first upright bass involved in a studio recording for STS9?
Portal.
On Portal.
Yeah.
On Portal.
Yeah.
No, because Light Years.
Oh, right.
And
Okay.
there was a couple things on. I always try to get it in there. So usually Hunter's like, you put some upright up somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a couple things on Universal side, but yeah, this was really fun to do. I don't think we had not done a song like that with the upright for sure. So, and that was super special because I got a new one that's like my at-home upright bass that I don't take out because it's so awesome.
Oh man.
And but I will take I do take it out if I'm in Denver, but I don't take it on the road. But it's recorded on that bass as the first recording of that instrument. So
Cool.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty stoked.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Stat check. That was never into Inspire to start that, and then it was it's our lift you up into 2012 into it's all right into Like I Do. Like you didn't just play it. You put it in a
Like I Do. That's
Nice.
what it was. Yeah.
You put it into a 4-song segment where you didn't stop. So there's another challenge for sure.
And I think Never they changed the arrangement of it right before that too.
That was different.
And
That
I
one
didn't know
sounded
that
different.
either. I was like, okay, here we go.
Okay,
Electric
sure.
Forest, let's go.
And just to be back, Life's a Symphony was written, brand new in January. Portal to the Starry Path was written, well, at least the first parts of that were last year. Like, spring of last year. Maybe even, a little bit longer than that. We've had that kind of kicking around for a second, but not the kind of main thrust of it. All the melodies and all that came kind of into last year, and it really, came together.
Really just got a sample related question that kind of encompasses a bunch of these songs. You talked on Strange Games about not getting you talked on Instagram about Strange Games specifically and not getting the sample cleared from Outkast. Seems like you interpolated the Shaky Ground sample is that Armani that we're hearing on that?
Yes.
Okay. I just have a sample clearance question, honestly. What is that process like? And obviously with Strange Games it didn't, but have you ever been working on a song that's kind of built around a sample that gets denied and it's kind of, well, that's the end of it? Or to what we've kind of been talking about, does that song just kind of turn into something else at that point?
We've got songs that were built on things that we never thought about even trying to, just kind of fun stuff. But we've never had a song that we've made that has been kind of held up because of or that we've had to just give up on because it's simple. One of the biggest things is, samples and sampling is about 5% of our music. And it's 99% of it is vocals, right? We care very much. One of the biggest things that something we care the most about is being a band and playing our instruments and writing the music that we play and doing that together, and recording it ourselves and doing that whole thing, creating our own samples, more or less. And so it's like the ones that we've had issues with have been kind of ridiculous asks from the beginning, like the Outcast
Sure.
one, right? It's like, hey, can we have your biggest hit? Can we have
Yeah.
It's like, it was like, you just kind of throw it out there, see what happens. It was something just for fun that we never thought it would go that far. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It's just, you put together for a show, this is gonna be amazing, and you're like, oh, this is gonna go on the album. How are we gonna do this? But
Yeah.
it really, those kind of open, at least Strange Games in particular, it opened up a way for us to find like something like brand new in the music, and I think
Yeah.
I think we love what's there now way more than what was there. I mean, it's fun. We love Big Boy.
100%. Yeah.
But as far as
Sure.
music, as far as like the legacy of that song, recorded legacy of that song, it's much more in a place now that we, it's closer to our heart now than it was. And so some
would agree.
things are just
Yeah.
they work out for the better. But the process in itself is like, it's just like a lot of
A lot of busy work, a lot of suits.
yeah.
Yeah, the work.
You
of it
don't
all.
really know what's gonna stop something. Like, so we went a long way trying to get shaky ground. We had it. For all we knew, we had a price, we had a deal, we had all of that. And at the last minute, that actually someone else came in and said, actually, we're not licensing any of this artist's music at all. So it's not that, not giving it to you, not doing this. It's like, this is not available to anyone.
It's just
And so you
no.
Not
run
for
into-
sale. Yeah.
So you just kind of run into all kind of stuff like that, you just never know what it's going to be, but you try your best. And we care a lot about crediting and giving credit to those that we're inspired by and that we, actually use anything from. And we've had samples that we tried for years finding the artist who we knew who it was. We just couldn't get any answer back. Couldn't get anything
Right.
back from them. And so, it's always different. The sample game
Yeah.
is always something different. There's nothing kind of, usual about it. And it's a major headache. And I think for us, it's way more fun just to create our own music, But every once in a while we find, but I love, we come from that era and we come from that music. And so it's going to find its way into what we do. And when it does, we've got a pretty good, protocol to how to get it done. We've got people who help us do that. There's people that we hire to actually go out and take care of that. There's people who actually do that for a living. It's like what's the sample, what's the information? I will go and get the deal for you, more or less. And so it's a major game out there that everyone struggles with.
Yeah. A great look under the
I don't
hood
think
there.
we use samples in maybe the way others do. I mean, I think it's there to embellish and accentuate the music. That if the sample goes away, there's still the integrity of the music. It's not dependent on that, right? So
Absolutely.
I think that's a distinguishment in the way that we use that.
For sure. Yeah, and like skimming to the next song of the EP, right? Walk the Sky, just to hit on it. I mean, this is like the crowning drum and bass achievement of this record. It sounds like Zach basically evaporates into thin air every time we break it down live. And just to hit on it, no real questions on it. It just sounds like one of those songs that the world needs right now. Come together, hand in hand, time to be free. And it just seems like, in times of social and political turmoil, that can influence your art and inspire people to come together. So that one is so awesome. And for Alana to be sampled vocally on that is really cool. It just sounds awesome. But Sky, we'll finish
Thanks,
things
man.
off. Yeah. Let's talk about, we've been talking a whole lot about the human dream. Let's talk about the human nightmare. That is Dusk. Oh my God. What was this?
Is that a good nightmare? It sounds
No, the best nightmare. Like
Okay.
my favorite kind of fish is evil fish. This is evil sound tribe, and that's my favorite sound tribe too. Was this song written in a graveyard?
No, but it's funny that you say that. It really, it's because it does come from, the inspiration behind that song definitely is, I don't know how to put it. It comes from a more violent kind of music, I guess.
Yeah, no shit. It makes me feel like I'm walking in mud.
Yeah, yeah. And there's some producers. I love that. There's some like some producers and some some groups right now that I mean I'm just a hip hop I mean I just love hip hop, always had since I was a kid,
Same.
always will. I still just always listen to and so it's there's definitely some new kind of there's I don't know it's hard to get that feeling to kind of conjure this feeling of like something is not quite right, and then like it's like there's like a I've got my senses up in a new way,
Yeah.
and I need to,
Wow.
and that kind of music it's the best way to express, and there's a power maybe too that kind of gives you this certain kind of confidence, or it's meant to kind of with my with your senses up and everything's kind of it's got this whole that music fascinates me on every level, and I don't know why, but that's some of my favorite music is really just hard, dirty kind of like as you say, like evil, like hip hop.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like. Some of those just Mob Deep. I mean, just you can think of like all these kind of classic.
Yeah.
It's just it does something that that few other genres of music do. And so
Three
it's
Six Mafia, yeah.
yeah. I mean, like some of the Griselda stuff, Conductor, Dylan.
Hell
those
yeah,
guys,
Hunter. Yes.
That's like that's like inspiring that. Me and Phipps are like listening to some of that. I'm just showing Phipps like, so let's, and then he comes in like the roads and it's just like, blah, like
yeah. There was a moment where he came in on that at Dylan and like you looked over and you were like, yes, okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of that, no doubt.
Yeah, I honestly I've moved differently ever since I heard it for the first time. So
that's the whole point. That's it right there. It was worth it then. It was worth it.
We call it scare your grandmother music.
Drew loves it. Drew's like, why will you not play that at nighttime? It's like, we're going to scare people. We're going to scare people. He's like, dude, I love that song. I got it totally dark for one time.
So good. So we're gonna get you guys out of here. If two more questions. If this album had a thesis statement, what would it be?
It actually does. It's got a whole.
Okay.
It's got maybe not a thesis statement, but it's got a let's say a pamphlet in the works, a zine in the works that goes to it. So there's some poetry that's gone to it.
Cool.
We've got some writing, and that we've written some things in effort to try to describe what we're really trying to say with this, and we're going to share that eventually. But ultimately, I think it goes back to that thing I was saying a minute ago. And sorry, I'm fucking ranting, talking too much. But,
no, this is great.
But yeah, it's like it goes back to that thing. Is like music. It's like what the power of the human dream. What we put into the music, what we put into the theme, into the the conceptual part of the theme, and what we're trying to express, and all that. Is only going to be truly felt if it's experienced. It's not really anything I can tell you. I can point you to other people talking about all kind of things that are, way more eloquent than I can, but ultimately it's this kind of confluence of all these things that we've put into the music that hopefully through the experience of listening to it and living with it, you'll get the same thing out of it, and so that's what we hope people will do. We know it's a big ask in this day of, just saturation of music and everything, but it's something we put a lot of, a lot of time and love and energy and thought and just our life. We put our whole lives into this, really, and really wanted to say something that means something to us. And the human dream was the perfect kind of title to capture that. And we can't wait to talk about that stuff more when the album comes out and what it's, kind of what some of that stuff is about, and share the thesis statement, because it's definitely there.
Yeah, door's always open, mic's always on here, so just let us know. But we know that this album obviously is being broken up into EPs, and then there's a bunch of other tracks we're going to hear, and Brad let us know, like, front to back, this is going to listen differently than the EPs and how it's broken up, and that's going to be a whole different experience, right? What would you guys hope listeners take away from the Human Dream in full after hearing it front to back?
I mean, I think that's what we've been trying to kind of just talk about, is just like, we really hope that people find their own place in it, find their own spirit within it, and then share that, and that's what makes it symbiotic. That's what makes the whole thing go. And so, like Hunter said, it's like it's a big ask, right? Like you got 19 songs, like, you know, I know you guys will listen to it all the way through. We hope all people will listen to it all the way through. But you know, I think the journey will be revealed when you hear it, you know. And that's the beauty of it. So we really we hope people can um yeah, just kind of feel what we've put into it, carry that back out into the world, keep that whole synergy going. And that's really it, honestly, you know. But we I think one of the things is like really just grateful that people listen. And again, it's just like that we don't take that for granted, like ever. And especially, you know, today you know, you might not have time to sit down and listen to something for, oh, you know, an hour, a half an hour, 10 minutes, you know. So yeah, like thanks for doing this, thanks for spreading our music around and sharing it, you know. Seriously, like giving people tickets or just trying to like open the door, you know. That's really it, right? We're opening that door too, you know. It's just like that portal.
Paving the portal.
That's
Love
my
it.
baby.
Yes.
Last question: when's it drop?
November 21st.
November
Let's go.
21st.
And
We're
our
having a
LA
party.
shows.
LA.
All right.
So
Here
LA is
it's
gonna be
nice that time of
yeah.
year. Yeah.
Bellwether is super dope, you guys. Like, it's a new venue there. We're super stoked to play there. It's gonna be the celebration of the Full Human Dream and the Artifact 20th anniversary
Nice.
as well. And we're gonna do it even differently than we did in Asheville.
Cool.
So we have a whole plan for that as well that we're super stoked on, working out all the details for it. But yeah, definitely don't miss those shows. November 21st, that's Human Dream, the full thing, 19 songs. Get it.
Oh yeah, we cannot wait. Thank you guys so much. Not just for first of all for joining us. I know time is of the essence right now and very valuable and it's very appreciated. And we couldn't have had more fun and been more pumped for this. And you guys delivered with some epic background, looks under the hood, some great stories. And I think you guys are better wordsmiths than you give yourself credit for. So
Definitely.
thank you so much for joining us. We'd like to give some chest pats to you guys.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
In the words of Jeffrey, thank you for your listenership.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's a new one. Yeah.
Oh
Your
man.
listenership.
Yeah.
Just name it
we're-
Jeffrey's yacht.
Being the ambassadors that you guys are, I think I would thank all our fans for that in a big way.
Mhm. There are big ships, there are small ships, but the best ships are listenerships for sure. So
I mean,
You see that?
You can have that one.
Wow.
I gotta credit. I gotta credit. Yeah, I gotta credit Brandon Pro for that one. He's that's a good one from him. But yeah, thank you guys so much
Yeah.
for joining
Good Lord.
us.
Thank y'all so
guys.
much. Love y'all.
Love you too. Thank you guys.
All right, Scotty, back. Just the two of us.
It's so lonely.
That was
in here
fun.
now.
Look at us. Who'd have thought?
Look at us, brother. I'm so proud of us.
Oh man, that was a lot of fun. You just heard from Hunter Brown, Zach Velmer, David Fitz, Jeffrey Lerner, and Alana Rockland. Man, if that doesn't get you more excited for this release, I don't know what does. Just the amount of intentionality that's going into it, and the themes behind it, and just the overall arc of this project. It goes deeper than we even thought. And that's what seems to happen when you do a deep dive on this band. Is you ask yourself, is it that deep? Yeah, I think it fucking is. Yeah,
It is. There's a reason why people care so deeply about this band, and sometimes it can rear its face in not so pretty ways. But I think that's what's important to remember, no matter what state the fans or this fan base is in, is that, you know, we give a fuck about some STS9, and man, it just is so grateful for what just happened. You know, we're about to get into the two tracks that we hadn't heard in a studio setting before, but so grateful to those guys, you know, the guys and girls for stopping by and sharing that moment with us, because boy, oh boy, that was really special.
Yeah, let's get into it. So we started off on the back end of the EP with that Dusk, and yeah, let's get into the headline of the Human Dream 2 EP with Like I Do.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. How do you listen to that now without hearing that?
Interesting to hear that transition that we listened to last week was not a stuck landing, according to them. I can't wait to hear what a stuck landing sounds like.
We are not safe for when they stick that, apparently. Man, we get another new Hunter Brown section before that breakdown. And yeah, just like we heard from them on that interview of like the evolution. I remember the first like 12 times you heard Strange Games, it was like, how do they keep adding these sections, dude?
Yeah. You start losing track.
Yeah.
This
sounds awesome. Yeah,
dude, so good. The other thing that's really prevalent is it has a much more West Coast feel on the synth side of things, on the David Phipps side of things, than the live version. Man, I hope the live version starts sounding like this one. Sometimes these studio versions, they kind of just stay the way they are, and they don't necessarily always translate back to the live version and in the studio example of it. I would like to hear some of these riffs and some of that West Coast style stuff make its way into the live setting a little bit more.
Yeah, and that just curdling like kick drum, dude. Like, oof, man, that breakdown now is got some teeth to it. Ooh, it's a toe tapper for sure. Awesome to see the progression, the evolution of it since we heard it for the first time at the Ravine and Rave Spell, and look at us now. Wow, it is.
Look at us, buddy.
Look at us. Look at us. Yeah. Next one. Let's get in some dance floor napalm here with "It's All Right."
Crispy snare.
Hopefully, we got some good headphones on right now. Whoa. That's my first. I've been listening to this in the car, Scotty, which I
Mhm.
thought was a good place to listen to the new EP. I love to listen to soundboards in the car because it
Yeah.
feels like you're in the show, you're at the show. Um, yeah, first listen on some headphones. Dear God,
Yeah.
the mix on this and like all of the clicks and pops and the finishing touches and the mastering of the drums. This is very quickly becoming a top 10 song for me. Alarmingly quickly.
I mean,
Something
it should
about
be.
it,
It's got
man.
all those elements of a song that kind of brightens the set no matter where it is. First set, second set, opener, closer, encore, bro. Like there's I talked about it last week. I talked about the way they pimp it at a show, and I felt my only note is that they should do it more. I mean, they should walk off stage and come back and you
Those
know
false endings, yeah, yeah.
yeah, dude. That in the live setting is like, it's like Hunter said, you got to feel it. Like that's a 3-minute song on this album. And it's one of the, it captures all the basics of it. But it's, one of those like growers that at a show you're like, whoa, that was way, way more intense and way fun and bubbly, and yeah, it's
Yeah.
great,
It's a
man.
grower
This
and a shower, you know?
grower and a shower, exactly. The snare at the beginning of this, in
Oh,
terms of, you want to talk about like something that the studio and that Brad has just really dialed in sound wise. Just so good, man. This is great. Some people were surprised that these were the songs. This is what bands do. They play them live, and then they put them on albums. It's been a while since we've had a proper STS9 album, so I guess from that perspective, these aren't new if you go to a lot of shows. But these songs made perfect sense to me as far as album direction, and just this is what I would expect them to be putting on the album at this point. This is what they're comfortable with.
yeah, absolutely. And I think these 6 tracks work together extremely well. Yeah, so I mean, you take a look at the songs that are on Human Dream 1 and Human Dream 2, we got 6 songs apiece, and that leaves us with, doing the math correctly here, Scotty, 7 to go. And I think it's going to be a fun guessing game as to what those songs are going to be to fill out the rest of this project. Like Brad said, we might be hearing some stuff, or we're definitely going to be hearing a few that we've never heard before that are yet to make their live debut. Like the band just mentioned, they're in the studio working on some old tracks that have never gotten the studio treatment. So, I mean, the possibilities are endless leading up to the full release coming at the end of November here.
Yeah, I mean, exciting times. To be a Sound Tribe fan is an understatement right now. This, this feels like the band on a mission. I think I think we can be hopeful that the next few months are going to be really, really cool. Yeah, what an episode, guys. Shout out to Sound Tribe Sector 9. Which
Yes.
it's always shout out to Sound Tribe Sector 9. This whole establishment doesn't really work without that band. But good God,
What would we talk about, dude?
I don't know. We sports and hip hop probably,
Probably.
but
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
wouldn't be we wouldn't be nearly as educated or articulate on the topic. But
Mhm.
thank you to the band for joining us today. It will not be the last time you guys hear from them collectively or individually. But there's always something special about your first time, right?
Yep.
I mean, I will remember this one for a long time, partner. I'm really glad we got to do it together.
For sure. Thank you guys all for watching and listening, whether you're watching on YouTube or listening on Apple Music or Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Throw us a like, throw us a review, throw us a comment if you're feeling nice.
Throw us a share. Share this one.
Share it. If it's your first episode, welcome. We do this shit every week. We will be back next week with our first wave swell episode in a long time, Scotty. So
Quite
it's time
some
to
time. Might be months.
yeah, time to put the dukes up and square off again. We'll have to actually put up. We never got a vote on who won the last episode, so we'll put that up on our story this weekend as well. But yeah, until then, y'all next week. Much love.